All right, so we will have video afterwards. Now, before we start, before we continue our ENC editor training, there was a question by Mr. Amit, I believe, how to export soundings about the channel. Okay, so let's see. I have one project here for the training for the volumes. We have a channel file, CHN file over here. That's the channel over here. And we have some data over here. And I want to export my soundings about the channel. In the export program on the final sound, on the final products, we can export to XYZ. That's our XYZ file here. Under the options here for the XYZ, we have, well, actually you can decrease the decimals. I don't want to, so 2 decimals, or of course, and the same about Z. Then we can say export XY, and instead of Z, please export me height of the sounding about the channel, okay? Now program is asking me about the channel. We can tell the program to omit the points below the channel. So only export shallower. If I have any here, I don't know. Okay. So we set up this XYZ output parameters here in the options. Go ahead and click OK. Come on. And we can export. Now, instead of this XYZ, we have only the soundings which are shallower than the channel depth. So that's the option there. Let me set to cryptographic. Now you can see the height of the sounding about the channel. That's a nice option. So I hope it answers your question, Mr. Ami.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. But today you did it very quickly. We tried the same thing, but though I agree that we have not installed the Q3 of 2021 at that time, but it really happened quickly, and we tried it, but it's not happening previously. Thank you very much, sir.
You're always welcome. You can watch out this video, which I'm recording, so that you can see
yes,
what did I do.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Let's go back to our ENC editor. Before we go any further, let me show you one complete ENC chart, which is made by Ukrainian Cartographic Service. I should tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that HiPEC ENC editor is not, let's say, you cannot create like validated ENC chart like cartographic agencies do. They do it using different packages. Like in Ukraine, I believe Ukrainian Cartographic Office, they're using Descartes Navigator, I believe that's the name, made by Transas company. The software to create the charts. In HiPEC, we have basic tools to create basic ENC chart, which you can share to Cartographic Office, and they can create, let's say, S57 full chart using their own tools like Caris, Descartes, Transas, and all the other specific tools for the ENC charts. But in HiPEC, we can do quite similar work, actually. No? Still, so I have this full ENC chart. If I open it up in the editor, so that you can see what you can have actually. So this chart has all the necessary features with zoom maximum, zoom minimum stuff there. As you can see, when we zoom in, we can see the soundings. So let's say where my soundings are here. Soundings. As you can see, the scale minimum is 44,000 scale here. I will share this ENC file to you after we finish the training. I will put it into my Dropbox and send you a link so that you can play with these full ENC charts so that you can see what features, what they stand for, all right, based on this guy. Because this chart is on a river and it has the bridges, it has the berths, it has the aids to navigation, the different other objects, cartographic objects. So you can use this one as a background for yourself in the future, right? Make a note for yourself, please, that this chart is for UTM zone 36. So you may want to create a new project for yourself and copy this S57 chart, which I will place into Dropbox. All right. So please create a new project for yourself. It's UTM zone 36. And then you can copy the ENC chart, which I will share with you. All right. So that you can see what's going on there. By the way, you can see. Remember, I mentioned it in the beginning, the specials and features of the ENC chart should not go outside of the chart limits, chart boundaries. You can see it here, like it's just cut at the border of the chart. If we open this chart again in the ENC editor, you can see that all the features, they do not cross the boundary of the chart. Oh, I closed my HiPAC eventually. Sorry. By the way, you can see right now that my chart is taking so much time to load because the default mode is 2D mix in the shell, which is not nice because it's taking more time for program to process these shell files, the background charts and all that stuff in the shell, using this mix mode of 2D. Because this mixture mode, it's a transition between two-dimensional 2D chart layout to the 3D layout, 3D mix. Instead of that, I prefer to set it to GDI because GDI mode is quicker, like it's already here. So in the future, that's my advice for you. You don't have to follow it. But when you work in HiPAC shell, it's better to switch to GDI mode, all right? It's quicker. Let me go back to the project which I was working for before. And let me do the chart again. So let's do it from the beginning. Let's go from the scratch. So I'm gonna go ahead and disable this chart. So that's our original chart, the XF chart. We get some XYZ data here, and we get some contours data over here. So let's start it over, okay? Just to reiterate, repeat it again. So we open up the ENC editor from the final products. Let me maximize this guy. It's a new chart. So in the browser under charts menu, well, you can go here. Oh no, you cannot. So in the browser under the charts tab, you can either open existing charts, well loaded, or you can create a new one. If you have predefined coordinates of the chart boundaries, you can create a new chart from here and enter the coordinates of the chart boundaries. I don't have any. So instead of this, I will use another method. I will create the chart from the cursor, base it on a background for me. So in the display background charts, I will pick up that DXF chart. Drawing DXF, this guy. you can have multiple backgrounds here. There is only one, but still, I want to pick it up from this list. It's the single one here right now. And I would zoom it extends to them, to this chart. It's over here. All right. Now I can close this background charts dialog. And we create a new S57 chart. New chart here in the browser on the charts tab. I'm using set with a cursor. And this time, let me create the chart a little bit smaller than the area covered by background. Actually, it's better to have a reversed picture. You have more background than your chart would be, so that then you can cut the features with the boundaries of the chart. All right, so I'm going to create a little bit smaller, like I would start it from here, and I would end it, I don't know, somewhere here. Dataset name. Let me call it like it's 10,000 scale, so that I know that this chart is 10,000 scale. Okay. So production agency is unknown. We don't know who produced it. I'm not an ENC producer, so I put it unknown. So default name. Usage, it's a harbor for me. Horizontal datum is WGS84, means level as my vertical datum sounding. No, it was a low slow water. Okay. The sounding data is low slow water as well. Source scale is 10,000. Depth unit meters, coordinate multiplication factor. I don't care right now for this big scale chart. Okay, that's it. Now I want to see where my chart is right now. I would enable this geometry so that I can see my specials, not only features. We don't have much features right now because the chart is new. We can use the zoom extends button, which doesn't show me anything. Nah. So I'll go back to background charts and use zoom extends here. That's better. Some redrawing stuff is happening, I don't know. So I'm just going to background charts and zoom it extends here. Okay, that's my chart. With right click of the cursor, you can move the chart, like in HiPAC actually, in HiPAC shell. All right, so that's my chart. You can see that my chart now is a little bit smaller than my background. That's better. Okay. Now, this time I would start with the simple. I believe point features are more simple than the line features and area features. So let's start from the simple one. So let's create a new point features. So we got 3 point features here, three point cartographic objects. So let's create 3 isolated nodes. I don't want to be very precise. Okay, so we got 3 point features. If you miss the position, you can go to this move special icon, and you can move that special to more precise location if you like to. Okay. Okay. Now, before I go further, I make sure that I'm using default. Well, I call it default cursor. It's actually select cursor. So just make sure that you pick this guy. All right. So that when you left click eventually, you do not create anything, right? Okay. Now, next step, I'm going to create a point feature in the features tab. Here in the browser, we are adding a feature. It's going to be point feature as a geometry. And let's say we have 3 boys over there. So let's create the boy. The first one is, come on. The first one is lateral. This one's cardinal. All right. So let's create a lateral boy. The top mark for it. And the light. Okay, so we have 3 features for this special. Now I want to marry them together. So for the boy lateral, I go to the references tab here. Again, I make sure that I'm using select cursor because I want to pick up the special from the screen into the clipboard and then to be able to drag this coordinates of the special into my references for the boy, for the feature, right? So I'm picking up this guy here. It's in the clipboard now. If you picked something wrong, just clicking on the right figure will substitute it in the clipboard, all right? If you want to pick the same feature for multiple specials, let's say you have multiple lateral boys along the channel, you can actually create the same figure for them, the same feature. Let's say I have another lateral boy over here, the same green lateral boy, all right? Now I have one. By pressing Shift button, you can add another one into the clipboard, all right? So you have 2 specials for the same feature, actually, for the same boy. You cannot do that for multiple points features. No, it doesn't show it. Okay, that's a bad example. All right, I'm going to remove this feature from here. Okay, that's the one. All right, clear. That was bad. All right. So you need to have individual stuff. All right. So this guy for boy lateral, the same node for my top mark. I'm going to use the same node for my light. So all 3 features are nesting on the same special, the node special. Okay. Now I would set up the boy attributes. As I said, there are some mandatory, like this mandatory one, the boy shape. So it's a can. It's a port hand. Then it's a green boy. You cannot see the color of the boy feature on ES57. Well, you can check out the document. They do not set the color like image. Okay, I will name it. Now I go ahead for the top mark. My top mark, the color doesn't matter, it's actually green. So let's set it up. You cannot see it. Now it's region A. This is most important for top mark. So what shape of it? It's coin up. Coin up. Where is my coin pointed up? Now I can see it. And the light. This one doesn't matter, so I don't care. The color, it matters because you will see the color here. So let's say it's a green light. I set it to yellow last time, or to white. No, usually it's green, I believe. All right. Now, what's the characteristics? Let's say it's a flashing light, simple. And if it's a flashing, we need to set up the sector group, sector parents. So let's say 2 seconds. Okay, so we set up one feature. Now we add in another features for another boy over here. So again, 3 features for the boy. Say it's a boy, but this time it's a cardinal boy. The top mark for it. And well, I don't see any lights here, so let me do not put any light here. There is no light on this, at least not on DXF chart. So just boy and top mark, all right? So for these guys, we picking up this isolated node over here. And we go to the references for this feature, for boy. And left click and drag this reference over here. Now I got it here. The same for the top mark. So we got 2 features nesting on the same special. Now we set up the boy attributes. It's still can. Color. Let's say white and black. I don't know. Oh no, usually it's black and yellow, I think. So let's say black and yellow. What else? Object name. Anything else? I don't care. Now the top mark. I only interested in top mark figure here. So it's 2 coins pointing down. All right. So we got the boy. And the last one here, it's a Western cardinal boy based on the top mark. So let's create another two features. It's a cardinal boy. With the top mark on it. And let's pick up these references for those two features here. Now you can see it's not here. I mistakenly put it on wrong special. That is bad. So for this boy, which I want to create here, I mistakenly place it the special for previous boy. I can remove this reference from here. Yes. By removing the reference from this feature, it doesn't remove the special itself from the chart. No, it's just removing the reference to this boy feature, right? Now this guy is what I need. VI7 ID of this high node, okay? So this one is correct. Yep, it's over there, I can see it. Now the top mark. And again, let's set up the properties of these two guys here. It's con, okay. Color, oh, category, yes, it's Western. West. The color, I believe it's still yellow and black, I think. I don't remember actually. Object name. Just something. And the top mark. It's Western one, so 2 coins. And 2 coins pointing point to point. Yep, that's the one. So that's where the point features, point objects. Now let's go ahead and create some line feature. Let me create the birth line. I believe that's the birth line of container terminal going up here. So let's create a line feature for that, all right? So in the features tab here in the browser, I go ahead, add a new feature. This time it's gonna be line feature. And I believe it's a birth line. It's over here. So let's create this guy. Now I don't have any special yet, so let's create a special now for that guy. So now I would use add chain to create the chain. So it's liner special, line special. Just remember that by default, this closed option is preset. So when you finish chain, program will connect first and last into the area, which is not right for now, because this time I want to create liner feature, not area. So I go ahead and uncheck this closed. So it's not preset. And now I can create the special here. Okay, I think it's go from, I don't know, it actually needs to go base it on this guy, not base it on the, how they call it. I don't know how they name it in English. So let me create it. I believe this is one birth. So I would add it here, end it here. Now that's gonna be another birth over here. And so on and so forth. I don't want to create a lot of them. So let me just create 2 and maybe 3. Done. Again, gentlemen, remember that you can always use this move special tool. You can left click and drag to change the location, for example, to make it more precise. To make it more precise. Okay. Now I would use the select tool. I don't want to continue moving my nodes. So I have 3 specials right now, 3 chains. I can see them over here. Like this chain, it's somewhere here. Let's say chain, I want to zoom it extends. It's over here. Then another chain is here. And another chain is here. This first one, all right? So we can see these chains. I would go ahead and disable the background chart so that I can see what's going on. So those 3 chains. Now I'd use this first one. So I pick up it in a clipboard. Let's go ahead for the features, birth, references. And I would add this chain over here. So that's my first birth. It's here. Fender. Good. I tried to remember. Thank you very much, Mr. Verma. So it's a Fender. Yes, now I remember that word. Fender. I think you can create Fenders over here. We can check it out later. All right. So that's the first birth. Let me enable again this background chart so that I can see what's going on here. It's CT. No, it's not CT. I believe it's container terminal 2, right? Or CB4. CB3. Actually, that's 2 different births, I think. But anyway, you can set the object name, which is not displayed on a chart. It's attribute of the object. Okay, now the other birth is gonna be here. So again, we added another line feature. It's birth. For the references, I would pick up the second one, this chain. And the last one, birth, create. Now for the references, I would go ahead and use this last one here. There we go. So those are line features. And finally, I want to create the island over here. Please please note that my area, my island feature is extending outside of the border of my chart. So I go ahead and create the chain here. Since it's going to be outside of my chart, I don't want to have a closed polygon right now because this polygon is going to be outside of the chart. I just go ahead and digitize it. In clockwise direction is better. So I just go ahead and digitize it. Let it be outside of the chart. It's better. I don't want to do very precise job, you know. Okay, that's enough. So it's not closed. It's opened. Let me disable background chart for better display. Okay. Now, before I continue, I need to make my chart validated. I'm valid, sorry. So for this, as I said, we should not have this tails outside of the borders. For this purpose, we have this strange tool called CNX. Create connected node at intersection of selected lines. This guide, let me show you what it does. So I'm selecting this chain, which goes outside. I'm pressing Shift button because I want to multiple select to the clipboard. Also this line, which represents the border of my chart. So I picked 2 of them. I'm zooming in so that I can, so the program can find the intersection, and I'm using this CNX. It finds the intersection between them. So program has precisely cut this chain, which represents the island in the future, which goes outside. So it will cut this chain. Now it's a different chain. Those are different chains anymore now. Let's say this chain is this, and this chain is here. I don't need this tail outside. I don't need this chain. So I just go ahead and say cut. This guy. And I don't need this isolated node here, or connection node actually. So let's cut this guy too. Go away. I would repeat the same here. So I would use select to, because if I'm using cut right now, I will cut all this chain here, which I don't want to do. No. So I'm using select to. I'm selecting this chart boundary chain, pressing Shift. I'm selecting this guy as well. So 2 chains are selected here in the browser, in the clipboard. Sorry, it's not browser, it's clipboard. And then CNX, it's found it. All right. Now I can go ahead and cut this guy. Oops. And this guy. Okay. That's it. Now, I want to create an island here. In the features, add feature. This time it's going to be aerial feature. And it's a land. I don't think we have, I believe it's a mangrove island, right? But I don't think we have mangroves here. And I'm not sure what kind of feature is it. I know that it's an ice area. Mooring, I don't think. Well, you can have a look. But I'm using land area because it's island, it's land area for me. Okay, land area. Now, land area feature is waiting for specials to come so that it's not orphan anymore, right? So for this, I'm going to use complicated chains. I don't use single chain forming the area. I will use actually 2 chains. This chain. Oh, come on, select. And this chain inside. So it's actually part of the border chain, right? So pressing Shift again, or Control, doesn't matter. No, Shift. I'm picking up 2 chains, 2 specials to form single area feature, all right? So 2 chains right now. And I click here and drag them both together here. Done. That's my land area, and it's gonna be true, correct, correct for the chart, which I'm creating, all right? Now, let me show you a little bit different stuff here, more complicated, sorry. So let me remove these guys from the feature, remove these references. Let's say this chain. Not here. How can I do that? All right, let me pick them up here. And let's imagine this guy is reversed. Okay, so it's not correct. You can see, as I said, to form the area feature, the chain should go in clockwise direction, right? And now you can see that this guy is looking, this one is correct, but this one is not correct. It's going in counterclockwise direction. I need to fix it up. So if you see that case, then you can pick up that reference here, the chain in the references, like this one. You can see the currently picked up reference here, chain in the reference. It's displayed with a red triangle, so it shows the current one. So this bottom one, this upper one. I need to fix this guy. So in the edit reference, I can set forward. That's it. So I have fixed this land area. Let's give it a name now. Object name. Bacha? No, not Bacha. Bocha. Okay. So let's call it. Not Bachan. Sorry. Bocha. Bocha. Let's create some other aerial feature, not going outside of the chart this time, easier. Let's say tag birth. I believe we can do that. Tag birth. So I would create the special. This time it's gonna be closed because I want to create the polygon. I want to do very precise job again. Done. So it's a closed polyline right now. Default cursor is selected here right now. Let's create the area feature here. Birth. It's area birth. So there is line as a birth and area as well. I would create the area and I would create line as a birth line. Okay, so area. I would pick up this guy and put it here. And you can see it's not displayed at all. So in S57, you do not see area or display of the birth, only line display of the birth. Okay. So if I want to just visually see my birth, we can create, I don't know, a built up area, no, building. For me, the safest way is to create land area because land area can give a name, can bear a name. Again, I can use the same reference. Voila. And now for the birth, we can set up, well, it will not be displayed as a name here. Oh, no, it is. Okay, good. So for area, for the birth as area, you can display the name. All right. And now I want to have birth as a line. So line, birth, create, reference. I go ahead and use the same reference here. Now I got this birth line. Tag birth. Okay. Let's see one more thing just to reiterate it again. What do I want to create? Backup area? No, I don't want backup area. It doesn't look interesting for me. Liquid terminal. I want to create something over here. Let's say it's a built up area over here, all right? So built up area. I would create the closed polygon for this built up area. Again, please follow the clockwise direction so that you don't need to change the direction of the chain in the end. Okay, so it's following up clockwise direction. You can check it by picking up this chain special and see where triangles go, all right? Now I'm going to put it on the built up area as a reference here. That's my built up area. What's the name of it? Liquid terminal, okay. Let's give it a name. I don't think it will display it here. It is, okay. So built up area here. I would save this chart for now. Now the next step, soundings. I want to import the soundings and I want to import the bathymetry contours, all right? So again, in ENC import, we go to the import. I would start with XYZ soundings, so sort, and it's XYZ file, this proper XYZ file, which I want to import. And there is single option here, just auto conversion XYZ to sound. There we go. Now I would close this import file tab because right now you can see we have additional tab over here. It was browser and messages. Now we have this import file here. I would close it down. I don't need it anymore. So now we have only browser and messages over here, all right? Now the next thing I want to do, I want to set up the parameters for this sounding feature. Oh, sorry, parameters, attributes. Expositional soundings within the range. Quality of soundings, depth known. Technique of sounding found by multibeam. Vertical datum, let's see, slow water. Textual description, I don't know. R2 Sonic MBs. Why not? Well, you can set up some different text description over there. Okay, now the background, sorry, contours. Again, if you import in contours created in Teen model as DXF chart, and if it has these rules, like contours should not be broken, no labels between them, then you can just go ahead and use auto conversion Teen import here. That's it, you're done. Nothing you need to do, it's over here. Well, you can see that my contours are going outside of the chart, which is not right. Let's undo. Can we undo? No. Okay, under processing, we can remove soundings, depth, and contours. And there is an error. Yeah, there is an error now. Did something wrong. That's why it's good that I saved my chart before, okay? Okay, so what I want to do, I want to clip this data within this stuff, all right? Before I import them. So let me open this guy like this. And it's favorite. Oh, Jesus, why it's favorite? S57. Did I save it as Adani? Favorite. Oh, that's too bad. That is too bad. I lost my work. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a 15 minutes break. Please have some break, and I will have a look at what's going on here, all right? I will continue in 15 minutes. So I see you in 15 minutes.
Recording.
Thank you, Max.
Recording.
Let me mute everyone. All right, so let's continue. Now, as you see, my chart is over here. I want to create the border file. Oops, I need to share my screen. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Everyone can hear me. I hope so. Gentlemen, are you there? Can you still hear me? Can you still see the screen? Wonderful, thank you. All right, so let's continue with this. So if I want to import my soundings and import my contours into my chart, I would like to have my data within the chart border, okay? So I would start with creating a border within my chart so that I could clip my XYZ data and my contours within that border, okay? To see my S57 chart, which is here, let me disable my soundings. I want to see the contours of the chart. In the view options here for the settings for the charts, and it says 57 chart. To see the border in the shell of HiPACK, I'm not in the ENC editor right now, I'm in the HiPACK shell. I would enable visual quality of data. Now I can see the border. That's the trick to display the border of your S57 chart in a HiPACK shell, all right? So I want to create the border around this area. So preparation, editors, come on, border editor. And I would just quickly create a border here. Let me make it a little bit less so that my data exactly within the border. So I want to cut off that data. Okay, so that's the border. Chart border, yeah. Now I would cut my XYZ within this border before I proceed. So to do this, that's my border, that's my soundings. I want to cut them with this border. So we can right click on this XYZ file, which is enabled right now. And we have that option to clip it to the border file. Now program is asking me for the name of this new XYZ, which will be cut at XYZ file. So let's call it chart clip at 50 meters. Now that's my XYZ. Now the soundings would be within the border of the chart, okay? I would use this XYZ to create the contours. So the final XYZ data set sorted at the scale of the chart appropriately. Now I would create the contours in the tin model with this clipped data. Let me check the model first, of course. That's my model, looks good. I like your data. They are quite nice. I don't see like motion artifacts in the data. Excellent. So it was collected using Artusonic, is it? Or something else? So I'm gonna export this as my contours here. So 2D, I will use the same parameters here because I know they worked last time. I don't set up the labels for this contour, so I don't care. I will just rewrite this guy. Export. Preview. I just want to make sure that my data looks correct. Okay. So we exported the data from tin model. Now we got contours here. Good. Now I would continue with my ENC editor with this data, right? So I have this XYZ, oh sorry, XYZ, S57 chart here. It already has some soundings, which I created in the morning session. I want to delete them. So double click to open this chart here. I want to get rid of this RON data. They're going outside. I don't need this data. So processing, remove soundings, depth, and contours. I have removed them all. Now, actually, I have a lot of orphan specials here. You can see them. Well, I don't want to take care of them right now, okay? So I don't care right now. Okay, so I go ahead and import this data again, the soundings, which are clipped now. So I would start with the data soundings. Auto conversion XYZ to soundings. So I got my soundings here. All right. And the contours. And again, auto conversion, I can use that one. So I got my soundings and I got my contours and I get some background. I had to recreate this S57 chart again because last time program has crashed and it's screwed up my S57 chart, which is pity for me. So it happens. It is better to save often and save it in a, have a backup of the chart which you're working on, all right? So my mistake, I did not save it in a safe place. So before you continue with editing, it's better to save it somewhere. So let's say that I'm closing these guys here. My chart, save it often, and save it somewhere in a backup, like in a document somewhere. So that you have a backup to restore if anything happens, like it did happen to me. All right. Now I can see I have a lot of stuff over here, which I need to delete. All this stuff. It's a lot of specials here. I can try to remove them from validating chart stuff here. You can see now I get a lot of specials as orphans and all that stuff. Well, I try to autocorrect it. Delete orphan features. Okay, let's do this. Now it's better. I still have some isolated nodes which I may need to delete manually. Well, I'm gonna cut them all. So chart validation, oops, I would remove this guy here. So I eventually double click it and place it the marker. I don't know why the marker is here. Just, place it somewhere. I don't know. Okay. Now I have cleaned this stuff outside of my chart, which was bad. Now it's good. I can save my chart. Now I would save it back to my project now. What else here? I want to show you one feature which can help you actually to automatically process DXF, because HiPEC actually can import DXF, as you can see, but HiPEC is only importing DXF having contours. This one goes well in HiPEC. I know that for sure. But if your DXF has external source, like your background chart is DXF, you may have some issues with that, but let's give it a try. Why not? Maybe it will speed up the process for you, okay? So ENC, import. Let's try to import your DXF as a background chart, which we use it, this drawing DXF. All right. So now we have them all like polylines, connected area or C area, polylines, and all other stuff here, all these polylines here. So it's gonna be quite difficult for you now to see what can you convert into ENC specials and features from your DXF chart. So I do not like to do that, but you may play with your DXF chart. Instead of digitizing manually all the specials here, you can try to import them from DXF. Let's see. I want to use this pickup tool here, selection. Let's say this guy here. What is it? It's kind of special here, describing something. I don't know what is this, but it's describing something. This polyline over here in the list. We can tell the program, okay, convert this guy into a special, like this chain 1-to-1. So this selection will become ENC special, the chain. Now it's a chain. Let me repeat with something else. So plus button, P plus button. Let's see what is this? I believe it's a closed polygon, but it has this guy here. So it's not really closed polygon. But again, well, let's make it a chain. All right. So you can do this. So you can convert all these DXF lines and polylines and DXF features. Let's say this guy, I don't know what is this. Let's say it's gonna be a chain. I don't know what is this here. All right. And let's say maybe something else. Maybe this guy. It seems like a closed polyline. Well, let's give it a try. So it's another chain. Okay. Now, since we got these chains, let's see what can we do with these chains here. This guy, for example. It seems like a closed polyline in AutoCAD in DXF. I believe it's a closed one. The direction is wrong. As I said, if you want to have feature inside of this polygon, the direction should be clockwise. Let's give it a try. So let me try to create the area feature. So we go back to the browser here, to the features. Let's say it's a land area. Or maybe built up area. Okay, let's see built up area here. Let me try to put this into this guy. It doesn't work. I don't see the area yet. I don't see this built up area yet. Let's see and if we can fix it. Yeah, so it was closed polygon in DXF. So that worked. Now I got the built up area here. So I don't have to re-digitize it because, well, I just use DXF as a background for me, as a source. Now we get something here. I believe this is closed polygon. So that's gonna be another area of feature. I believe there's some kind of building here, I don't know. So again, built up area, why not? Come on. Again, the direction is counterclockwise, so the direction was wrong in DXF for ENC chart, so we can try to fix it up. It worked. So another built-up area here. Let's say this liquid terminal. I don't think that's the simple object. It has double lines here, but let's see. So we go back to this import file thing, P+ button to pick up the DXF lines. I don't think that's simple. It has two lines actually. Let's try to convert them into chain. Let me close this import file. I don't need it. I want to see this guy here. So let's see its built up area again. And this thing here, come on. Well, again, it's in counterclockwise direction, so we probably need to change the direction. It's a built up area over here. Let's see what else can we do with this stuff here. So again, I'm importing this DXF, which we used before. Now this is gonna be more complicated. These little guys over here. I don't think I can do that. Let's see, P+. I believe this, each of them is a separate object. So that's gonna be very complicated. I don't want even to do that. No, it's not going to work. Okay, let's say, can we clear it? I don't think we can, like, clicking again on the same special, it's not special, it's DXF feature, you can deselect it. So one click, select, one click, deselect, okay? You can try to see what is here, what kind of object is this? So by clicking this object in the list and click it zoom extends, you can see what is it. It's a fire station, I believe, right? So for the fire station, it's more easy just to create the isolated node over here. Now it's isolated node. Let me go back to browser and features. That's a point feature. In AutoCAD, you can see it's like a cycle and some hatchet polylines there, but in ENC, it's a point feature, so it's gonna be point. I wonder if you have fire stations here. It's not fire station. It's not mooring facility. Radio station is here. Rescue. Signal station. Marine manufacturers feature. Features information about manufacturer. No. I don't know. What is this? It's not beacon. Built-up area, boy. Checkpoint. Coast Guard checkpoint. No. I'm not sure where is it. What is this? Current non-gravitational. Control point. Okay, let me just set out as a control point. Create. So it's gonna be point feature over here. observation, fixed point benchmark. So it's gonna be just a benchmark. So gentlemen, again, I'm not sure, I don't know all the features in S57 charts, honestly. I'm not so good with ENC. Like I know that in Trieste in Italy, they were providing the training courses. I believe it was 3 months training course for ENC in Trieste in Italy. It was 20 years ago, long time ago. I've been visiting these courses when I was working in hydrographic, in Ukrainian hydrographic. It's 3 months. And these features, all these features, there are thousands of features. I don't remember them all. So, well, if you want to check which features are available, you can go to this description of the symbols and find out information about the symbols you need in the ENC chart, okay? I will share this stuff later on for you. Now, the question from Mr. Amit was, do we have customized features? No, we have library, which is from ENC S52 standard, and we don't have any custom stuff there, no. You cannot customize it, guys, okay? I did not say save it, all right. So again, before I call it the end, let me tell you what will I do for you. I will copy this ENC documentation into the Dropbox and will send you a link later on. I will also copy for you this chart, ENC chart from my projects. Where is it? It's on the drive here. Let's go UA. I will copy to you this S57 chart, which you can use as a reference for yourself. Just remember that this chart is for the geodesy with UTM zone 36. So you can create a new project for yourself, set up geodesy to UTM 36 and add this chart from Dropbox, which I will share the link to you. And finally, I will record this video. Well, it's already recorded, and I will send it to you over the link to, I think I will share it to Mr. Rajesh Verma, and he can share it further on to all the participants, okay? I believe that's how it works. Now, gentlemen, if you have any questions, please go ahead. I'm still here, I'm still available. Please go ahead with your questions.
Sir, when you are selecting the DXF, the down below it is showing the chain 1:1, S:1. What is that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me go back to this chart. It's failed. Oh man. Delete. I will save it in my documents. So let me open this guy from my documents. Did I put it into docs of the one? Yeah. Okay, this chart. That's why it's good. It's good option to save it as a backup somewhere. Like it, I have restored it from my documents right now. Okay. So let's see if I import this DXF and different options over here. So this button chain 1:1 means that single chain, which I selected from DXF, will be single chain in HiPAC. So one chain from DXF will be one chain in ENC editor, right? Now we can multiple select this, the guys here. Like if I continue and pick up the new specials from DXF, you can say each of them will be individual chain in Hyper. Or you can say all these chains from DXF will be single special in Hyper, in ENC editor. So you will merge all these chains from DXF into a single chain in Hyper. This is not good option. I never use it ever because I don't know if they describe the same feature. They are not right now. You can see this chain is going here. This chain is actually separate stuff. This change is separate, so I don't want them to be all of them in one special, but there is an option. For example, if, let's say, well, that's a single one, right? Yes, it's a single one. They're so close to each other here. I believe here we have few chains from DXF, like this one, and you can see they are not connected. So nothing good will happen, but anyways, let them be there. Let's say this guy. So if it's the same feature, let's say it's, I don't know, it's some kind of area. You can tell the program, so all these specials in DXF will be one special in Hyper. So n in one, all of them, multiple specials from DXF will be single special in Hyper. Okay, feature. I don't like this option either when I'm working with external DXF because I don't know DXF file. But you can, instead of having a special, you can tell the program, create a special and a feature on it. So it will be ready feature based on this DXF special. Let's see, I want to disable these guys. And this guy as well. Let me give it a try with one, which I already tried before, this guy. I believe that's the single nice special. I know it should work. So instead of chain, so special, I want to create special together with a feature. So I'm missing one step. I don't have to create a feature as a separate step and assign my special to that feature. I want to tell the program, okay, create a feature already for me with this. It gives you this option to create a feature. So let's say it's area feature. It's a built up area. It's here. But for this, as I said, you need to be sure that this special is nice, like it's connected. It's a closed polygon for the area feature. So feature one-to-one is a nice option, but you need to make sure that the special in DXF is proper. Let's say these guys here. Maybe it's kind of breach, I don't know. But they are not closed. So you will not be able to create a nice feature out of these 2 points, two lines here. So I don't know, nothing good will happen here. It's not area for sure, it's not closed. We can try to create one line feature out of those two. I don't know. Causeway, no. Birth, breach, maybe it's kind of breach, I don't know. It created 2 bridges actually. So that's feature one-to-one and feature n-to-one. So multiple chains in DXF chart, you will try to create single feature with all the specials inside, all right? And soundings. If you have point objects in DXF chart, you can pick them up and say, okay, that's gonna be soundings in ENC. That's not good option from this DXF. Well, I don't know, maybe there are some soundings here, but it should be point feature with XYZ information inside to create a sounding. Not good. So does this answer your question, Mr. Verma?
Yes, sir, fully.
Good.
Ivan sir, Amit here. So can we
Yes,
change the Can we change the color of these features? Like you earlier mentioned, when we're making the tug berth, you said like whenever we're making a berth, it cannot be filled with a color. So suppose and you taken a land mass for that to fill it up. So can we change the color of that feature?
No, the cover of features should not be changed. Let me show you this guy. Okay, I'm closing this. I have some built up area over here. That's this one. You can edit this feature. No. How can we edit it? Change feature. So instead of built up area, you can pick up something else here. Let's say land area. But for the already created feature, there is no option to change the cover. It's like it's appropriate cover for this type of feature.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir. Thank you.
Again, let me show you this chart stuff here. I don't remember the name. Land area. Control F. Oh, land area. It doesn't find land area here. Oh man, why not? It's area pattern 563. Okay. 563. It's nothing. It's not there. You can find here. You can find here all the covers which are binded to. Ah, that's area pattern. Okay. Let's say airfield and all that stuff. Any other questions, gentlemen? I think that we can call it the end. I believe, what time is it now? It's 3:45 for you, right?
Yes, sir. In India, 15:45, sir.
Okay, yes, quarter before 4. All right, I think that's enough for you. I think that's a lot of information for you to process, to work on. And I'm going to send you a link with recorded video. They should be recorded. So let me stop the recording. And I believe the link will be ready like in a couple of hours, maybe more. It takes some time for the cloud to record. Yes.